And we're back with part 2 of this beautiful video series. And let's go into it in Shadow Man. As you were saying.
As I was saying about the physics in Call of Duty, I was talking about how I ran into this building and stopped and realized, shit, the physics in this game suck. And it's not, Paul, you know what, man? Every Call of Duty is like this. Everything has its own problems. Every bit of physics is going to be a little bit flawed.
Exactly.
I mean, shoot, I was playing on Whiteout yesterday, Domination, of course, and I was in the back building near A. You know, there's little snow slope that drops into that window. You can run up the stairs or run down the stairs into that little garage-looking thing. It's a shed, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was in that shed down there in the bottom, and I ducked down into the middle to reload in between the walls. And as I ran up towards the stairs, my guy flew into the air and started sprinting in the air for a second, and then he dropped down to the ground. And I turned around and I looked at the ground and I was like, what the fuck? Did I just run over a trash bag? Turns out it was a very square box. And I wonder why? Why on earth? Who in their right mind would become airborne as though they ramped off with a skateboard by stepping on a box?
Me. Every time I go play basketball, I put boxes in the middle. You know what I mean? So I can compete. But in all seriousness, though, Call of Duty's never had good physics, though, bud. Like, it's like, okay, you play COD 4, and like there's some stupid shit you can do on there that's absolutely ridiculous. Call of Duty has never had good physics.
An old school free for all.
Well, yeah, that shit was fun though. Like that, they did that on purpose. But it's just like, you know, when it comes down to it, I think you're kind of, in my personal opinion, you're kind of harping on this a little bit too much, because when it comes down to physics, I'm sorry, Black Ops 2 had the most retarded physics as well. You know what I mean? Like, there was some stupid shit that would happen. Like, what? Like, how did I just do that? And it's just at the same time, you know, it
but see, in Black Ops 2, I knew how I did it. I was a motherfucking badass, and that's how I did it. And there was no questions that needed to be asked.
Okay. Well, like,
that was
no.
it.
Like, people forget. You, and let's be straight, you were one of the fucking people that hated that game. Hated that game.
No, I just hated it on PS3. I loved it on 360.
My God. Well, fine. And you hated it when we played on PS3. Fine. Okay, you little fucking vindictive fuck.
You know I hate every Call of Duty that's come out since Modern Warfare 2. I even hated Modern Warfare 2. I was always talking shit about that game. Me and you did tournaments on that game. We won money on that game.
Yeah.
And I still hated that game.
I loved it. I loved that game.
I loved it too.
I loved it.
Honestly,
if you could go back in time and win some more money, I would go back in time and win some more money. But it's just...
But I mean, even Black Ops 1 was amazing. And we won, what was it, $600 each on that game?
Yeah.
And even
we weren't
still,
even going hard. That was the funniest part. Like, we weren't going hard as we used to. Like,
even still, it was so bad. It was so fucked up. And the FAMAS was so terrible. I remember you would have to, like, whenever you would jump, you would have to worry about the bullet spray that would come out afterwards. And the inconsistency of hit detection was awful.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, I guess Ghosts has made major improvements from that. And I love the fact that you can actually turn and shoot. Because before Ghosts, like on COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Black Ops, 7 was the maximum sensitivity you could use. Because if you did anything faster than that, the only purpose it served was being able to run. Because if you were shooting, for example, if you turned on somebody, as they say, and you started shooting, your bullets wouldn't detect at that speed. It would take the same speed as a 7 sensitivity turn on for the bullets to start coming out of that part of your gun.
Well, yeah, they did that so you couldn't just fucking...
This.
They try to prevent wall hacking and like all that bullshit, but...
Right, but it was a failure, and Ghosts brought it to where you can use 17 sensitivity, and the bullets will come out of the gun directly where you're aiming, no matter where you are. And I run around, dude, I'm checking corners left and right. I basically have a 360-degree field of vision, being able to spin around so fast, and I can get hits, and I love that.
Well, I don't use that high sensitivity. I find that to be pointless in my personal
What sensitivity do you use?
I use 9 or 10, and that's me. That's how.
Hot diggity daffodil.
Well, like to me, no, I still
shit.
move really quick. I can still move very left, right, like laterally, very quickly with that sensitivity. It's not slow.
But see, you also play smart, don't you? You like to think about where the enemies are going to be.
A mixture, but I also do just run and gun blindlessly. Like I just like it's I love it. You know what I mean? Like I just run and gun. Like, dude, what you gotta remember though with me is that like, because I am the Call of Duty prophet, the Messiah, the savior of this franchise, is that you know, if you remember, bud, I never used the highest sensitivity. I always used like a higher sensitivity, but I never used the highest. You know what I mean? Like I could if I wanted to, but I didn't. And at the same time, I used to run and gun all the time. Remember, like, I would never stop.
That makes sense. But I mean, if I do that, I get fucked up.
Because you aren't the Call of Duty prophet. You are not the Messiah. You are not.
But
I
want to be. I want to be. I'm going to be the Satan of this franchise, huh?
No, you already are. But like what we need to get you on, just a quick side topic, is a friggin' 360.
I am Lucifer of Call of Duty, and I want the position of Call of Duty God.
Too busy. Too late. It's already taken. All these other commentators can't touch me, so it's already over. But you know, when it comes down to it, in all seriousness, though, is that this franchise has never had great physics. It's never been a realistic game. Like when I play Call of Duty, like in CoD 4, I did not play it for its fucking realism. I played that gun because I can go in the goddamn lobby and shoot some people.
You know what really makes me laugh? When people are going around complaining about it not being realistic, and they're fucking quick scoping.
I know.
That's realism.
And let's just kind of talk about this real quick. Quick scopers are like the cancer of this community. Like in my personal opinion, like they have destroyed Call of Duty. And like, cause quick scoping used to be in CoD 4, but it was underground. And like my thing is that like quick scoping, you had these phase kids and all these fucking jackasses, like, you know, doing those 360 no scopes or 720, whatever. And like my thing is, I don't care if you quick scope. I care if you're playing an objective-based game mode and you're 360ing off the map to get gameplay or montage clips. It's like, I don't want to play with you. I don't. And that's the one of the things that I absolutely hated in the Modern Warfare 2 was the introduction of the easy quickscope. And, you know, I think Black Ops 1 had it right with the sniping. You could still quickscope, but it wasn't as prevalent. And when it came down to, you know, like just Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, you know, the dick sucking rifle, and like my problem is like the quick scoping and the quick scoping community is the biggest bunch of pansies on YouTube as well, because they like sent death threats to David Vonderhaar. I'm like, bro, do you even know what a penis is? You're like 12. Calm down. We don't need, you know, like they were sending death threats and like there's some funny videos I'll link to you. They were punching walls and shit.
You know what? I was playing in what's the map? The back lot looking thing.
Oh,
or well, closer to Strike, I guess, with the gas station in the middle.
Oh, whoa. I don't know why I'm spacing out right now. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the sand map.
Yeah. I was playing that. Hardcore Domination, of course. And I was in the back, Russian C. And it was their spawn. And there were two guys back there that knew me and this guy were coming. See, I was going back there to cover a buddy who had rushed up, and he was getting shot at by a couple dudes. So I popped the guy running up on him. I was like, yo, got your back. And then I moved over to the back side and stood behind this dumpster, aiming towards C. I had just come out of the gas station shop, and this guy popped out, and I popped him. But as I did that, the buddy that I just saved the life of was behind me, and he stood up and started shooting at the guy too. Problem is, Ricochet in Hardcore. So he killed himself. And he got on the mic and he was like, oh, okay. Who's the fucking dumbass on my team that just got me killed? Motherfucker, what a little bitch. And I stayed quiet. I didn't say anything. I knew he was talking about me. And one of his teammates, they were clan mates, he goes, Who was it? And he goes, I don't know, man. This guy in the back of the map, man. He just stood up and I shot him and I killed myself. Holy shit, I was no more than 2 away. I had 2 to go, man. I pressed select and he was like, 45 and 2. And he was camping back there, apparently, for a chem strike.
Oh, yeah.
And so he kept talking shit, and I stayed quiet. I didn't even say anything. I wasn't even making call-outs. I was quiet that whole game, but I stayed quiet. And finally, he said, you know what? I'm gonna find out where you live, and I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna kick you in the balls. I'm gonna kick you in the fucking balls. And then he started kind of getting, you know, relaxed about it or whatever. He wasn't so angry anymore. He was more like jocular, but he was still pretty pissed off. He was still talking mad shit. So I got on the mic and I said, hey, dumbass, this is hardcore. Next time you're standing behind a teammate, don't press R1. So he's kind of quiet for a split second, and then he goes, hey, who said that? I said, yo, this is N Shadow. Quit being a bitch. So he said, you know what, and Shadow, I'm gonna find out where you live, and I'm gonna come kick you in the balls. And I said, I'm from Texas, just north of Dallas. Come find me.
Yo.
And so his teammate said, hey man, I'm just like 50 miles from there. I'll go get him for you.
What?
And so they started laughing. He was like, yeah man, do that. Apparently one of them was in Oklahoma, which is more than 50 miles, but
Well, math
course
is
it might be
hard.
50.
So, math is hard.
Math is
Counting and shit is hard. Like, Googling mileage is hard, but yeah, continue.
But see, here's the funny part. They kept talking shit throughout the end of the game. We were having a friendly conversation. Like it devolved. It kind of died down into something of a friendly conversation. We were all talking about where we were from and all that kind of shit. And he was still threatening to kick me in the balls. So by the time the round ended, we went back to the lobby, and one of the guys said something nice, and I was like, you know, oh yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. We were just small talking it up, and then his buddy goes, yeah, but for real though, I'm gonna find you and kick you in the balls. And this dude sounds like he's like 30. Whoa. So I just kind of blow it off, and I'm like, whatever. And then we start up the next game, or it starts loading, and they're on the opposite team. And I said, oh man, I wish you guys were on my team. And they backed out. They didn't invite me, they just backed out. That was it. I had been threatened to be kicked in the balls after being found,
like
and
a
they
bitch.
just backed out. Then the other day, oh man, these two dudes were standing outside my house. One was a white dude in a hoodie, the other was a black dude.
Hey, okay.
And they were sitting there talking for like the longest time.
Get
And
back.
I could have sworn they were there for me. So I kind of watched them out the window, but then they went their separate ways. They just left.
Are you
Apparently there was two
fucking
dudes
on
that
crack?
started talking. No, man, but I'm hoping they weren't.
Alright, well.
Because shit, they'll be back.
Guys, since Shadow decided to talk about his story time, yo, we're going to be making a part 3 of this video. So make sure to stay tuned for the next video.
We just love entertaining you guys with endless minutes of fun.
Stop talking. Shut up.
Hyena Gang.